your Saturday, and today is November 15th. So just think about it. Hey, we're halfway through the month of November, and even that much closer to the end of the year. So what I guess we can say, what are we, what, 6 weeks, a little bit under 6 weeks to the end of the year. So I hope you guys are doing well out there. So what I want to do is I probably want to come back to you later and just talk about, I don't know, I guess it could be just the dialectic kind of stuff that's going on. um, MTG, that's Marjorie Taylor Greene, to the common man, and Trump. Truth Social, what's been revealed between Truth Social, and there's a little bit of a, I guess there's a rift between the two, and most of the right dialectics are on the whole thing about who's going to pay, and I guess who's going to pay in the primary, in a primary situation. um and I think Trump is doing the same thing. I think that they're trying to they're trying to deflect, I guess, away from this whole Epstein thing. But we'll just see what happens, guys. I appreciate everybody that was able to come on last night, of course. And yes, I certainly appreciate everybody that was able to come on last night, and love on the like button. That's always important. So right now we're at 1 minute and 53 seconds on this Saturday, November 15th. So if I can get back in, I'm probably gonna come back in, and we'll chew it up a little bit about, dare I say, on the dialectic end, and then maybe also on any extra developments that we have on digital identity. um because I've said, most things that are going to happen right about now are going to be based on the presupposition of, the government. Every time there's a shutdown, there's a startup. Even there's a piece on a SNAP benefits piece that I wanted to talk about specifically. I think this has even happened with the student loans, just about, or something happens with the student loans that they ended up having to reapply, or they'll change the standards on that, or they change the FAFSA applications. So every time, but I would imagine that even FAFSA at some point will become digital. Anisha Swain, I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly. Anisha's Wayne underscore score 39. Thank you so much for coming in. So I appreciate you guys so much, per usual, and for you loving on that like button whenever you can. And like I said, if you really want to throw some caution to the wind, you can always hit that share button and just share it out. Just share. If anything resonates with you, or if it echoes with you, then you'll just share it out. And like I said, I would like to have solutions out here, I think, are what we need more than anything, because there will be another shutdown. That it's our shutdown, okay? It's actually, the corporations, the politicians, they're not getting shut down. It's us to get shut down. And I think, honestly, it's too much power if somebody can disconnect you from, whether it's plastic food, overpriced housing. If the fact that our government can pull that plug and have that much power, it's way too much power for them to have. So that's why I'm saying, that's why we need actual solutions. We're in a solution. I think the vein of solutions, needs to pick up. Without a doubt. Anisha Swain underscore 39. I'm not, where am I from? I'm I'm here with you right now. I'm from a lot of different places, in all honesty. I appreciate you so much for coming in. So for those of you that are in the background, you're not sure whether you're going to come in, or you're considering coming in, I appreciate you for loving on that like button. And for those of you that have been so gracious to share it out, I really appreciate it. Like, it's a Saturday, and I decided to come. I needed to come out, but the time is flying, and yeah. But I will say this: I did hear a comment from Ed Bastian, the Delta CEO, that the weekend should look more normalized. I would imagine that that the operations are probably going to be restored, or because the industry is a machine. It's a machine. It's very much like the government. These shutdowns don't actually mean a shutdown for the people at the top, okay? The politicians and that kind of a bit. It's more of a shutdown. The common man's the one that gets shut down. The systems get shut down for the common man. The institutions get shut down, but not for them, okay? It's kind of like Teflon. It just kind of rolls off of them. So you said you're from India. Oh, where in India? Are you from Mumbai, or where are you from in India? I do have some Indian friends. Glad to have you here. I don't know, maybe you could give us some insight on the global mobility, or maybe, I don't know, dare I say, we'll talk about that another time. Odisha? Well, I appreciate you so much for coming in. Look around and, see if this is the flavor that you were, if this is the social media flavor you prefer. And, but if you're but no, I'm not Indian myself. I'm not. I do samosas are my favorite. I do have a friend that makes amazing samosas, and yeah, lots of friends. So I appreciate you so much for coming in. But yes, so we were talking about, I want to talk about the SNAP program. I want to talk about some other programs and some other things that are going to be digitized. I think for all we know, the new SNAP benefits, the new SNAP criteria or requirements, and of course they vary by state to state. They might be digitized themselves. So, and then they're doing it all in the name of corruption and fraud and waste. And I know a lot of people are still trying to figure out. They're still ruminating on or looping the whole concept of this $2,000 the $2,000 tariff dividend. I don't know what's going to happen with that. I don't. I just think you better live your lives and just plan accordingly, and in the words of Bill Gates, prepare for the next one. That's probably what you want to do. I wouldn't get stuck on, because $2,000, and then I'm hearing also a pivot about potentially, because of the healthcare costs that are going to rise, or that they're going to figure out some way, if you don't get that at least $2,000 payment, they're going to try to figure out. I think they're probably going to try to figure out to put some type of guardrails, or they might even say, oh, we're going to start a health savings account for an HSA, an American's health savings American Health Savings Account, an HSA, based on these dividends. So these dividends might end up going into being parlayed into a HSA, okay, an American HSA. I don't know. I'm just, that might be going out on a limb, but I'm just saying that I think that can happen too. The powers that be, they just kind of keep that carrot dangling out there. And I think that you've got to have some diversions, right? You got to get the people's minds off of some of the other grimy stuff that's going on, yeah, that's what you have to do. Realize. Thank you so much for coming in. I'm just popping in just for a second because I want to talk about dare I say, the restructuring, or the restructuring of the SNAP program. And maybe there's one other thing that I wanted to talk about. The MTG rift, in which, I don't know, I guess that romance has gone cold, or, if you're not pro-Trump, you're probably going to end up not having, you're going to get cut off, get cut off like that. So, and I don't have Truth Social. So those of you that have the Truth Social post, I know that on the platform, or can I call it a platform, Truth Social, I mean, not Truth Social, but Substack, there's a lot of interesting things to follow on there. Now, I'm going to be honest, I'm just thinking to myself, I don't know, I don't really care about, and even in the past, shout out to the class of COVID-19, shout out to the class of 2020. I'm not sure if I'm interested in, getting too spread with a ton of different platforms and all. I just figured, this is the government kind of, it's not free speech, okay? It's going to be the people that are favored by the government, or that's speaking their narratives, that's doing the left-right paradigm or dialectic. Those are the people that are going to be favored. So I don't know that Substack, that Substack and X or whatever is going to yield, because if they suppress your voice, how is that free speech? Or if they dogpile you so much that your voice or your word never gets out, how is that free speech? It's only as free as the government says that it can be. You only exist, it's based on the presuppositions of what's already established. Okay. Yeah, because I was watching something with that Frank Turek, or I was just watching one of these right-wing or conservative type pieces. And they all have a structure. It just seems like they all have a script. They name drop, they do celebrity shout outs, and as if we're all supposed to care about, it's almost like flip to a certain extent. It's almost like, okay, I thought that the right dialectic was less government and very less government, except for when Trump's in office, right? That's not, or when they talk about Charlie Kirk, or they say, we're all about free speech, but then if you say anything about the investigation, you better be quiet. You're interfering with the investigation. Shut up and let the FBI, the feds, do their jobs. So it kind of reeks, it reeks. Realize says, I just left Sam's Club. Literally, it's mayhem at its finest. I bet, because I think some of these states that didn't have their benefits or whatnot, I'm not sure. I don't even know if Sam's Club, I don't have a membership I used to have a membership at Costco, and I never had one at Sam's, but I would imagine that it's probably going to be super wild between now and next week. I know a lot of people, I've seen a couple of things of blackouts that people are saying they're going to partake in some type of blackouts for Black Friday this year. I have seen some posts on social media regarding that. But yeah, they know that people are going to go out and do their traditions of man. And I think that's another part of the panic or the fear, is that, if they can't do their traditions of man, if they can't go out here and buy up a bunch of turkeys and hams and do all their Thanksgiving shopping, that, life was not going to be good, but, I don't know. I haven't been to Sam's, or just short of a big box store, I haven't been out. But yeah, but I would imagine that people are gonna load up, or the ones that actually do shop like that, they'll get into it for sure. But I really appreciate it. So I'm probably gonna come back. Thank you guys for loving on the like button. Realize says, my husband spoke to a Catholic priest. He has known such a child, and he said it will be 3 days, a 3 day of darkness. Wow. And see, that also brings me back to the fact that I needed to get, I need to buck up my, I need to shore up more emergency supplies and just prepper kinds of things, you know, whether it be lanterns or whether it's solar lanterns, or if you've got a generator, or what kind of generator do you have? Are you running, you know, what do you have? Oh, it's no problem. It's all you're good. You're good. Realize. So yeah, but I have heard that reference too. And so yeah, I guess we better make sure we've got what we need for that. But I appreciate you so much for coming in. Realize, and Anisha Swain, thank you so much for coming in. And I appreciate you for loving on the like button. And thank you for sharing that. If you have anything on that, if you want to send it to me on the 3 Days of Darkness, that'll be great. You just send it to me in an email at blackspringwithautumn@gmail.com. And I will see you guys later. Bye.